Welcome to the Pioneer Agronomy Update. The winds kind of pushed us inside this morning. We are at Stenvold Ag Service in the Thompson, North Dakota area as we bring you up to date what's going on with the crop situation. Field Agronomist Kevin Sinner is with us, and certainly we're looking at some pretty soggy conditions, not exactly what we'd like to see here at the end of May.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal out there right now. It's pretty wet. Mike was just saying we got about an inch and a half of rain up here, and the wind's just howling now, so 55, 50 degrees, something like that. So not what we were hoping for when we kind of planned this, but it is what it is, and we'll get through this. So.
I know we made a lot of progress in some areas anyway this past week.
Yes, yeah, there was a whole lot of acres got planted. I was just saying, coming up Highway 75 here in Minnesota, pretty much every single field was planted. I would guess we're somewhere around 60, 70% planted now. So last week was, I guess, a blessing, finally, that we got some acres planted, but now we're going to have to wait a few more days here to get back at it.
Some of those rains or some of those real hard pounding rains, is that a concern, particularly with soil crusting?
Yeah, it can be. I guess, thankfully, with tongue firmly in cheek, that the temperatures are going to be cooler this week, so that should kind of prevent the crusting from being too bad, but areas that got really heavy rain, just kind of be on the lookout for that. So.
Oh, hopefully we get some heat. The forecast hasn't given us a lot in that direction. But once that corn starts emerging, what should we be looking for?
Well, you're going to want to go out, get the stand evaluated kind of as soon as you can. There's going to be all the insects that are going to be coming out too. They're delayed just like the crop was this year. So your wereworms, your corn seed maggots, white grubs, all those things that might be chewing on the seed, get out and look for them. If you're concerned about the stand, give Mike a call here at Stenvold Ag. Give your local Pioneer rep a call. We can put a drone up in the air and get a look at it from the air too. So
it's really important that we get that job done.
Yeah, because on corn especially, your stand establishment is probably the most important thing there is, and you don't want to be surprised when you're out in the combine this fall that, hey, I planted 34,000, I'm only at 26. So knowing now is better than later.
Yeah, no doubt. For those guys that are looking to move into soybeans here soon, any concern on maturity?
Not quite yet. I think we are going to try and stick with it, assuming that we can get in the field here pretty soon again. Once we get past about that first week or the 10th of June, then you're probably going to want to start thinking about moving a little earlier if you can. And again, you're going to have to talk to your Pioneer rep and see what's on tap for maturities there. So
if I look back to last year, some of those late planted beans actually did pretty well.
Yeah, last year, and that was a little bit of the exception to the rule. Normally, it's the earlier planted beans are the better. Last year, though, with a late frost in late May, those later planted beans ended up catching some of the later moisture and ended up being the best. So I guess it's a silver lining if we can look at it that way, that sometimes the late planted beans are the better.
You talked about the local agencies. They've really been putting through a lot, whether it's moving hybrids around, doing whatever they have to do this spring.
Yeah. So Mike's over there just kind of wiping the sweat from his brow right now because they've been busy all spring getting the supply in to begin with, and then subsequently having to move it all south as maturities kept sliding with delayed plants. So yeah, they've been busy, and the farmers have been just as busy too, trying to get it in the ground.
Yeah, no doubt. Mike, let's bring you into the conversation. Again, Mike Stenvald here from Stenvold Ag Service. Talk about that. What's the spring been like for you from an agency perspective?
It's been hectic to say the least. A lot of struggles getting seed in the first place, and then now, of course, lots of miles getting put on trying to move things around and doing what we can to find the varieties that are wanted by our customers.
It really shows you the perseverance of your customers trying to get through this spring, because we've had rain after rain after rain.
Absolutely, and a large thank you goes out to all the growers. I mean, they've been really pushing when we've had these short windows to get in. They've been in the field, they've been doing what they can, and they've been excellent to work with. And gets put on us here now to try to work with them and do the best that we can as well.
Like Kevin said, you're out there to help, whether it's checking stands, whatever they're looking for this spring.
Absolutely, that's our job, and that's what we're here to do. More than happy to get out and check stands, even if it happens to be uncompetitive product. As long as we can help you out, that's what we're here to do.
You put in a lot of plots. Is that something you guys do at this agency?
Typically, this year is going to be lacking in the plot department because of the short windows. Again, it's hard to take 2 hours out of somebody's time when they can get a quarter planted versus planting 3 acres to put a plot in.
Yeah,
So,
no doubt. Tell me a little bit more about your agency.
Yeah, so I'm based out of the Thompson and Fisher area here. Kind of moved east as I worked with Todd Sorensen here to kind of help him over and take over his agency and allow him to get back to the farm. So my soybean facility, I was with Todd Sorensen here south of Fisher, and then we got the corn in Thompson, and we've been working around there.
Good deal. We appreciate you hosting us this morning. Wish we had a little better weather to talk about it.
Absolutely. Maybe we can do one later on where we can celebrate some of the weather instead of frown over it.
I like that. Mike Stenvald with us, again, Stenvold Ag Services. And again, this is our Pioneer Agronomy Update.